Anthony tweets, Viola Davis is cast as Amanda Waller. What are your thoughts?
No, she wasn't. Every website that is running that headline is lying to you. They have not cast her as... Now, they may. She's been rumored for a long time. But first of all, the studio has not confirmed this. Viola Davis has not confirmed this. This is coming from one website that says they have sources. Now, also in the article of that one website that is putting that out, even they say in their article it's not a done deal. They're saying they'd like to have her, but they're now looking at her schedule to see if they can find a way to make it work. So even in the article that this comes from, it says it's not a done deal yet. So all these websites that are running with the headline, Viola Davis has been cast as whatever, you've heard me go on about this type of thing before. Mm-hmm. I got nothing left to say about it. Look, we've been hearing Viola Davis' name for a while. This could end up being true. And I think there's a good possibility. It was either her or Octavia Spencer and Oprah Winfrey were names mentioned, right? Absolutely, it could end up being Viola Davis, absolutely. But at this point, it is not just premature, it's erroneous to say that it's done, that she's been cast, because even the source that it came from says it's not a done deal yet. So let's just pump the brakes on that. That's why we didn't run it as a story today. Anyway, any of you guys?
Hang on, I'm tweeting that she got cast.
I'm telling Cosmic Starship Super News that it's Oprah. I heard it's Oprah.
Awesome.
Any other thoughts?
No, I agree with you. You know how I feel about conjecture and rumors. I'm with you.
You love it.
I mean, it's one thing. There's some sites that are wanting to say, hey, Viola Davis could be your next Amanda Waller. And that's cool. It's just when you read these headlines of these sites, and you're lying to your fans.
Right.
And you say, you're lying to your readers. Viola Davis has been cast. That's actually not been said by anybody. So just take that with a grain of salt, guys, when you read stories like that. Anyway, what else is in the Twitter stream?
Belinda tweets, I always thought that The Hobbit deserved an Oscar for makeup or costumes with all the unique dwarves. Will they get it for the third one?
Well, that's a really good question. It's a good point. I thought the dwarves look great in all the Hobbit movies. Yeah. And also, they all have their own individual look. I love the one guy who still has the axe hilt in his head. I mean, it's so, but that being said, if it wasn't nominated, and I haven't looked back over the nominations list, but if it wasn't nominated before, it's the same dwarves now. I don't know why it would get nominated this time. So, any other thoughts?
I mean, sometimes they give it a pass if they think it's the last movie. It's the last time we're ever going to see these costumes or these whatever, so we should better nominate it now. It might have a bit of a harder time because it's more CGI than it was in the past. So I think that maybe it'll get a break because it is the closing of the trilogy.
You also have stuff like Maleficent, though, which people,
great.
Those horns were awesome.
The horns were awesome. The wings, like just her makeup, and Rick Baker designed it, and he's kind of an Academy darling, and people love to nominate him. I think it'll be nominated. I think you're right, though. There is something to be said for the last film in the franchise kind of getting love, because it's the last one.
Well, and it's also, this one has all of everybody in it. Like, you know, the first two Hobbits was like separate. Now this has got Smaug, it's got the dwarves, it's everybody, so it's a million costumes and special effects.
It's got up to 5 armies.
That's right.
Up to, and not exclusively.
And Spock makes an appearance.
I certainly
All right,
so.
2 more quick ones real fast.
Christopher tweets, with the Star Wars movie coming out, do you think this will bring more people to the Star Trek movies or less? Thanks.
Oh.
You know what? The funny thing is, you would think there would be more of a symbiotic relationship because they're both space sci-fi kind of things. But for whatever reason, I've always sensed that nobody ever associates one with the other.
No.
And like there's no, obviously there's no real connection, but there's no feeling that, oh, this is like this. Oddly, when you think on the surface that it would, so I honestly don't think the success or failure of the new Star Wars film will have anything to do with the success or failure of the new Star Trek movie, or vice versa. But maybe I'm dead wrong about that. I don't know.
I think it's already happened, because I think the fact that J.J. Abrams was the guy that rebooted Star Trek and now he's gone over to Star Wars, I think that already got more people like me who were not, when I was a kid, it was Star Trek versus Star Wars. Right. Yeah. I love Trekkies because I used their lunch money to buy myself pizza on Friday. But now I think that it's more of a unification of these cultures where it's like, oh, you know what, yeah, I did kind of like Star Trek, and now that we have the same guy that helmed one doing the other one, and going forward there might be more crossovers with directors who do a Star Trek movie and a Star Wars movie, so I think that can have an effect.
I was going to say, JJ's very smart. Like, his Star Trek movie was basically him just making Star Wars. Yeah, like, you can lay the plot, lay the plot of Star Wars over Star Trek, and it's the exact same thing. So anyway, look it up, check it out. But The thing with Star Trek versus Star Wars, it's always boggled me because I've loved both of them.
Me too.
And the Star Trek people are always like, they have this kind of more of an effete attitude, like Star Wars is for stupid people. And it's like, look, Star Trek isn't like hard science. It's made up. Everyone has a weird appliance and they're an alien. Give me a break. They're both science fiction fantasy. Just deal with it. They should love each other. There should be a Star Wars, Star Trek love-in.
I always loved both because I grew up in a house where Star Wars was equally beloved with the original series, and I grew up with both influences. And I think you're right, though. To me, they're two distinct universes that don't really mesh, even though they both are kind of like space operas and take place in outer space in the future and whatever. I always saw them as different and therefore not fighting each other. I'm Canadian. We're actually like we're peaceful people. You know this about us.
I have grown up loving Star Trek too. My mom watched all the original Star Treks. I was younger, obviously, but when the Next Generation show came on, I ate that up. There's a lot of the Star Trek movies I love. I love the current run of the Star Trek movies and all that kind of stuff. I put my arm around my Star Trek fan brother, but if some cosmic deity says pick one or the other, I'm going to start kicking the crap out of my Star Trek brother because it's Star Wars all the way. But I love them both. I love them both. All right, last one, real fast.
Malik asks, Big Hero 6 only made $253 million on a $165 million budget. Is that something to be worried about?
No, not when it's domestically only. No, I'm going to pull up some numbers here. You guys go ahead and comment on that.
Well, Big Hero 6 has such an international appeal to it. I'm assuming that those are the domestic numbers because it takes place in San Francisco. So that's going to have a huge cultural crossover across the entire world. So I think that it's going to be doing okay. Its bank account is going to look better than mine at the end of this quarter.
Yeah, I think it's also like when you say something to worry about, if you're asking like whether the studio is worried about it, I don't know that they are, because that sounds pretty successful to me. I mean, it's like $100 million over their budget, which is maybe not the biggest success that Disney's used to, but it's certainly not bad.
And that's not counting all the little Baymax figures that are sold out everywhere.
That's right.
I mean, the toys are what they're making the most money on, and they've got to be really happy with that.
And the Blu-rays that are going to be coming out in 6 months.
The movie went over really well, so I don't know, and especially the phrasing of it. It should be "we be worried." You shouldn't, unless you're part of an investor in it, and making money on it. I don't get it.
It's getting. I mean, critically, it was loved, and it's getting nominated now in award season for a number of different things. So I don't know. I feel like I'm not worried.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about
sleep.
Now, let's bring a correction. That was the worldwide number right now.
Interesting.
But keep in mind, Big Hero 6 also had a much longer tail rollout. So there are still, hold on a second, I'm just looking at it right now. Give me 1 second to bring this up. Okay, there are still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, There are still over 50 countries for Big Hero 6 that is still opening between now and February 12th.
Oh, yeah,
so it's not like Interstellar. I remember when this first came out, it said, yeah, Big Hero 6 beat Interstellar at the box office, but domestically, but worldwide, it's, but Interstellar opened in a lot, like 400% more countries worldwide than Big Hero 6 did. They still have about 40 or 50 countries to roll out between now and February 12th. Croatia is going to be the last country to get it. It gets it on February 12th. So we've got a few months before we know what the financial results of Big Hero 6 are.
So what you're saying is if you're in Croatia, I would be worried about it.
Yes, then you should be worried.
Hey everyone, if you liked this video, click that thumbs up button and make sure to subscribe to our AMC Movie News YouTube channel. It's free and helps you stay up to date with all the latest movie news, as well as our daily AMC movie talk show. Also, make sure that you follow us on Facebook and Twitter to stay up to date with all of our special promotions, contests, and prize giveaways.